ignited. We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now in view.
Shutdown.
Mechazilla had caught the booster.
This is absolutely insane. On the first ever attempt, we have successfully caught the super heavy booster back at the launch tower.
What an incredible view!
Are you kidding me?
They said it couldn't be done. But what if I told you SpaceX just caught a 60-meter rocket weighing hundreds of tons in midair using robotic arms? Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, it's real, and you're about to find out how. Catching a rocket booster as it falls back to Earth is one of the most mind-bending engineering challenges out there. SpaceX is rewriting the rules of space travel by making it happen. In this video, we're going to break down how they managed to achieve this seemingly impossible feat and why it's a game changer for the future of space exploration. Let's rewind a little. Space travel has always been insanely expensive. The reason? Rockets are mostly disposable. After launching into space, the rocket boosters would drop back into the ocean, never to be used again. Imagine burning millions of dollars every single time you send a rocket up. This is where the challenge comes in. How do you make rockets reusable? SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, tackled this problem head-on. The idea was simple but incredibly ambitious. Launch the rocket, complete the mission, and then, here's the kicker, catch the rocket booster when it comes back down. No more ocean landings, no more throwing away expensive hardware. But how do you catch a 200-ton booster that's free-falling from the edge of space at supersonic speeds? At first, SpaceX experimented with landing their rocket boosters on drone ships floating in the ocean. You might have seen those successful landings. A booster standing upright on a tiny platform, surrounded by miles of open sea. That alone was revolutionary, but Elon Musk had something even bigger in mind. Landing a booster in the ocean still requires a lot of recovery work, and water can damage sensitive equipment. Musk wanted a way to catch these boosters on land and reuse them almost immediately. Enter Mechazilla. Yeah, you heard that right. Mechazilla is the nickname SpaceX gave to the giant robotic arms that they use to catch their massive Starship rockets. These aren't your typical industrial arms. We're talking about multi-story, high-tech robotic limbs capable of gripping and holding a rocket that's plummeting back to Earth. So how does it work? To understand this, we need to dive into the physics of rocket landings. When a booster re-enters Earth's atmosphere, it's going at speeds up to 25 times the speed of sound. The atmosphere slows it down somewhat, but by the time it gets close to the ground, it's still falling at an insanely fast pace. SpaceX uses grid fins to help guide the rocket back to a precise location, and a few of its powerful Raptor engines reignite to slow it down. But here's where it gets interesting. Rather than landing on a solid surface, the rocket booster aims for Mechazilla's outstretched arms. These arms, mounted on a tower taller than the Statue of Liberty, reach out and catch the booster by the sides. This is the first time in history that anyone has attempted to catch a rocket in midair like this and actually succeeded. So let's break down the actual catching moment. Picture this. The rocket booster is falling back toward the launch pad, controlled by its grid fins like a skydiver maneuvering through the air. As it nears the ground, Mechazilla's arms are already in position. The booster's engines fire one last time to slow it to a crawl, and the robotic arms, fitted with high elasticity bumper pads, close around the rocket. It's like watching a giant mechanical claw catch an object with the precision of a professional baseball catcher. The arms absorb the rocket's remaining inertia and gently cradle it, avoiding any hard impact. What's truly mind-blowing is the precision of this whole process. The booster has to align itself perfectly with Mechazilla while falling at high speeds. Any slight miscalculation, and we'd be looking at a huge fireball instead of a successful landing. What makes this even more impressive is the fact that the booster still contains tons of fuel at the time of the catch. This is important because if SpaceX can save that fuel, they can immediately use the same booster for another flight without needing to refuel it entirely. It's all part of their goal to make spaceflight as routine as air travel. But how did SpaceX pull off something so complex? The key lies in the combination of software, hardware, and raw innovation. First, there's the guidance system. The rocket uses a combination of grid fins and engine thrust to steer itself through the atmosphere and towards the landing site. These grid fins aren't just for show, they're crucial for stability. Think of them like wings on a glider, helping the booster maintain balance and adjust its trajectory. The onboard computer makes tiny split-second adjustments to keep everything on track. Then, there's the thrust vectoring system. This is where things get really technical. As the booster gets close to the ground, its engines need to fire at just the right angle and strength to slow it down. This isn't like pressing the brakes on your car. It's more like balancing on a tightrope, except the tightrope is made of fire and the ground is thousands of feet below. And finally, there's Mechazilla itself. This tower isn't just about brute strength, it's equipped with sensors that track the booster's position down to the millimeter. The arms can move in real time to adjust to any last-second shifts in the rocket's position. And let's not forget those bumper pads. They're designed to be elastic enough to cushion the booster, but strong enough to hold it firmly in place. Now you might be thinking, okay, cool, but why is this such a big deal? The answer is simple: reusability. By catching the rocket booster, SpaceX doesn't just save money, they're also speeding up the timeline for future launches. Instead of taking months to refurbish and transport a rocket from the ocean, they can now have it ready for another flight in a matter of days or even hours. This is a massive leap toward Musk's vision of making space travel as common as air travel. Imagine if every time we flew somewhere, we had to throw the airplane away after one flight. SpaceX is turning that outdated model on its head, and catching a rocket mid-air is a key part of that transformation. So, what does all this mean for the future of space exploration? With Mechazilla in place and reusable rockets becoming the norm, SpaceX is moving closer to making human life multi-planetary. The ability to catch a rocket booster mid-air is not just a cool party trick. It's a crucial step toward colonizing Mars, building moon bases, and turning science fiction into reality. SpaceX isn't just dreaming big, they're proving, one successful rocket catch at a time, that those dreams can actually be achieved. The world of space travel will never be the same. If you want to see more amazing breakthroughs in space tech, make sure to subscribe and watch the next video.